entrepreneurship is a personal journey. It's a journey that's relevant to you at any given time, depending on where you are in that cycle. So I'm going to set some context on my own background, on why I've taken this path. Hopefully you'll be able to relate to it. If you can, and there's some takeaways for that that'll help you on your own journey, that's great. I will have achieved what I hope to have set out to achieve. And then went on to Trinity, did business studies, and loved my course, loved college, and really have always had this kind of entrepreneurial drive and ambition, and didn't really know what it was I was going to do because I never really had any good ideas. So I suppose I've had lots of incarnations of entrepreneurial kind of experiences. My very first experience was, I think I was about 16 or 17, and I decided I wanted to be a web designer, which was kind of a problem because I didn't know how to do web design, and at that point in time no one really wanted a website. It was about 1997, 98, so I bought a copy of, I think it was Microsoft Publisher, figured out how you could design a website and sold about 4 of them, made about £1,000, but I was 16, 17 at the time, it was pretty good. So I spent that probably over the course of the following month on a load of rubbish. And then I realised I wasn't a very good entrepreneur because a lot of customers ringing me up saying, the website doesn't work. So I've learned a couple of things about what skills you do and don't and should have, I suppose, at an early age. So I made this decision to go and look for a job, and couldn't really find one that I liked. And then eventually came across a really great company called NCB, which is an investment house. And I took a really cool job at NCB, spent a lot of time working on a few of the departments in there. And I thought that this would round me out as a person, if you like, and maybe, I wouldn't give up on that entrepreneurial dream. Hopefully at some point I'd actually deliver it, but I needed to take a proper job first of all, because I had no money, and secondly, because I needed this additional expertise. So I went into NCB, spent a bit of time there, got to see, what types of businesses get funded, what types of businesses don't get funded, got to see how a proper business was actually set up and run and how it was managed, and got to work with some great people. But I still had this underlying, deep-seated ambition to go and do something myself. If you want to be an entrepreneur, or if you class yourself as an entrepreneur today, I guess the key thing is to understand that you really, really, really need to want to do it, okay? Because what you're going to hear over the next few minutes is a story of why you have to have that persistence and why you have to have that deep-seated desire. And I guess if you don't have it now, then maybe it isn't the path for you. That's challenging, but I'll come back to it in a moment. So I left and I looked for a few entrepreneurial opportunities, and I suppose what did I do? As I say, I'm not a techie, okay? I'm not as brainy probably as most of the people on the panel here. I wasn't some genius. I didn't have some new creation in the lab, but I knew I wanted to grow and build a scalable business and do something really exciting. So what did I do? Well, I went back to some mates of mine in college and I said, listen, lads, what are you guys up to? Fancy doing something? Let's go off and have a look and see what we can do together. And I teamed up with a mate of mine, basically, who was in college with me in Trinity, and we said, look, let's go and look at things to do. One thing we did have at the time is we had a few quid, so that was something. And we got on well, which is even better. And we decided, well, let's go and look for new ideas, entrepreneurial opportunities that we could scale and build out as a business. So we spent the next year looking at spin-out opportunities from universities. So going around the DCUs, the Trinities, the UCDs, and looking for ideas, inspiration, new concepts that we could round out as a management team and bring to market and actually go and build and grow and scale and go global with it. So we went around looking for, as I say, opportunities, and then we came across Blueface, and Blueface is what I classify as Ireland's leading IP telephony company. It has a great cloud platform which it's developed itself through hard commitment and strong commitment to R&D. And it was at a particular point in time where it needed new energy, it needed new passion, it needed new focus, and we felt that we had something to bring to the table. And thankfully, the founders of Blueface, and I'm a bit of a fraud because I'm not a founder of the company, so just say that straight out, but the founders of the company took a bet on us, and we took a bet on them, and we came together, we built a rounded out management team, We refocused the business from a residential company that was purely focusing home users with an alternative landline service. And we said, well, look, you guys have a great system and a great platform with great services and features, and well, we can take that and we can bring it to businesses, and this is in 2009, who are hemorrhaging cash, who are looking at every line of OpEx, who need to be more nimble, and who need to leverage their communications to make their businesses grow and scale and be better than they are. We've now set up in the UK, and we're in the middle of acquiring an Italian company, and we're hopefully, I hope, going to be one of those great Irish success stories. We're not there yet. We've launched our mobile service in the last few weeks with Hutchinson 3G, which we're rolling out here in Ireland and indeed in the UK, and we will eventually roll out in Italy as well. And I guess we had a very fortunate set of circumstances. We had a bunch of people who were really committed, who were passionate about growing and building a scalable business. And the one thing I have here is that, you know, what do you want to do, or sorry, what do you want to achieve? If you're an intending entrepreneur, what is it that you want to achieve? And if your team and the people you have around you have that same level of ambition, then you're on the right path. If you want to build a global business and your business partner wants to trade locally as a you know, a mom and pop shop, well then you're completely mismatched, and that journey isn't going to be as great as you hope it might be. And that leads me on to a point I want to talk about, which is the team. We had passion, we had energy, we have certain skills, we think we're good at communicating messages, we think we're good at raising money, you know, personally, and we think we're good at, you know, building business propositions and business plans together. We were not technologists, we needed technologists, we needed that expertise, and we've managed to marry that team together to build a really successful, I hope, company. And I think from your perspective, you know, while the entrepreneurial journey is a personal journey, I'd encourage you to look around you, not only in this room, but in the college, in the wider diversity of academic disciplines that there are in the college, and try and match that kind of science and humanities and technology and humanities, and bring that diversity together in whatever entrepreneurial endeavour you hope to bring forward. My ambition for me, for example, was to run a really fast-growing, you know, business which had potential for scale and potential to create a really great business story. And if that's your ambition, fine, go for it. If you've got other ambitions, go for it. But the key thing is to have unwavering faith that it's going to work out in the end, because you're going to have to be so persistent. I haven't really gone through all the bad stories. You know, there are bad stories, there are down days, if you like. There are days where you're kind of going, oh, Jane, like the whole world is caving in on you. And you need to have that unwavering faith and persistence and passion that it's going to work out for you. And to do that, you have to stop listening to the naysayers. You have to have confidence in your own ability. You have to have the right people around you, that team I talked about earlier, that you will reinforce each other. So for example, when I have a bad day, I'm going to go, oh, it's all over, it's terrible, oh, let's forget this, it's terrible. Brendan will go to me, you know, Alan, will you just cop on? And then some days he goes on a mad one and I say, Brendan, will you just cop on? And sometimes it's nice to have someone there to give you a kick, right? So, you know, don't necessarily feel you have to go it alone. Get that team together and see how you can do it. I'm a big believer, and I'm conscious of my time here, but I'm also a big believer that what goes around comes around. And I've been very, 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 very lucky in that I've had some amazing people surround me who have given me the best advice, some of which I've taken, some of which I haven't, but they give me the best advice. They've been there for me, they give me their time, effort, energy, because, you know, they're just interested in the fact that you're an entrepreneur. And they'll give you that time, they'll help you shape your plans, they'll make introductions for you to potential customers, you know, to potential funders, they'll make connections into Enterprise Ireland, whatever it might be. And don't underestimate that there are people like that out there, and the best people, incidentally, to do that are entrepreneurs themselves, who know where you are at any given time, and know how you feel, and can give you that advice. So I'm a big believer, what goes around comes around. I make it my stated objective to come to events like this, to do this kind of thing, to be accessible, to be available to people who have ideas, want to run them past someone, and want a sounding board. So I'm offering that to anyone here who wants to talk to me. You might want to talk to me after this, but if you do, I'm around. And just do that yourselves during your own course of your own journey. Give time, give feedback, and give input to other budding entrepreneurs, because we're a small island. Our nation is in a very interesting place, to put it mildly. We're in a tricky place, and really the only way we're going to add value, to coin that term that was used earlier, as a nation, is if we all help each other and we collaborate and we come up with really new cool ideas and innovative ideas as well. So I did say I was going to give a big plug, and I think Ed said I could. I'm on a judging panel for a business plan competition, which is chaired by Bill McKiernan, who's a co-founder of CyberSource, and also by Dennis O'Brien of Digicel. And this judging panel it's a business plan competition being run by the Ireland Funds. So if you go on the Ireland Funds website, you'll find it. The deadline for business plan competition entries is the 16th of April. It's open to postgraduates around all the 9 institutions around Ireland. I think the contact in DCU is Bernadette McCullough, who's on the executive program side. The judging panel, excluding me, okay, everyone else, there's Jerry Canary, some really cool people, Moya Doherty, all these really cool people on the judging panel. I don't know what the hell I'm doing there, but anyway, they're a really great bunch of people. It's a great opportunity for you to get your business plan or idea, if you have one at the moment, in front of a really interesting audience. So I'd encourage you to apply for that on the 16th of April. I suppose the final thing I say is keep that passion, keep that faith. I wish you the very best of luck on your own personal entrepreneurial journey. And should you choose not to launch on that journey right now, and you want a really cool job and you want to join Blueface, come have a chat with us. Thank you very much.